Welcome, everyone, to the Fairlane Hotel. We're really honored that you're joining us this evening. My name is Hooman. I am the creative director for a brand called Storey Hospitality, and Storey Hospitality is the management company that oversees this hotel. We have a really popular fancy speaker series in Menlo Park in the Bay Area, so if any of you guys want to know more about that, we'd love to host you there. But I don't know this hotel as well as the man who runs this place, the greatest general manager in all of Nashville. Welcome, Bill Simmons.
Thank you, Hooman. I feel like I should sing a song, but I'm just going to talk about the hotel, so sorry to disappoint you. So first of all, thank you for coming. This is our second in a row. Thanks to Hooman, thanks to Laura, thanks to Storey Hospitality. But more importantly, thanks to my team. If you could give them, please, a round of applause.
You're right there.
Everyone from culinary to operations to sales, this doesn't just happen, right? So this is people serving people and people getting to know people, and that's really what makes our business sing. So a couple plugs. We are going to be opening up the restaurant, which you are sitting in, our beautiful restaurant, Modern Love. We're going to be flipping it very quickly after the event tonight. Feel free to stick around, grab a drink at the bar, hang out. Also, we have a pop-up bar that we're kind of known for here at the Fairlane Hotel, and it's called Capricious. Capricious with the emphasis on Capri. So it's Amalfi Coast, Italian spritz, Italian vibe. It's up in the penthouse, so it's open from Thursdays through Sundays, and today's obviously Wednesday, which is not Thursday through Sunday. However, we'd love to show you the space. So after the program tonight, find one of us. We'd love to take you up so you can take a peek and then obviously bring your friends and family. So thank you for being here. We're really excited for our friend Angie K, and thanks for Hooman for hosting tonight. So welcome. Thank you so much.
One other person I want to point out who's not staying there, her name is Taylor. Taylor, if you could wave. She's the marketing director. If you want to do something really amazing and fun here, she's your person. Angie K, you want to warm up the room for us?
So I don't know how this works for a lot of artists, but for me, I'm on my 5th record, believe it or not, this year. And I know. Very proud to say that. And for me, what my process is basically I write a ton of songs, and then I write one, I finally stumble on one that feels like something I want to build a house around, if that makes sense. And this was that song for me. It's called Red Dirt on Mars. Went out to a field off of Highway 9. Opened a bottle and cursed out the sun. Stayed till the tears came and shine like the stars. Oh, I wanna forget her, but I can't get that far. Yeah, this small town in Georgia's all I've ever known. The dust and the mud and the blood and the bones. Where's a cowgirl to go to burn the brand off her heart? Well, that man on the moon says there's a red dirt on Mars. Well, that bottle turned empty and so did my mind. Yeah, gravity left me and blurred all the lines. There ain't nobody like her down here on earth. So take me away to a place that don't hurt. Yeah, this small town in Georgia's all I've ever known. The dust and the mud and the blood and the bones. Where's a cowgirl to go to burn the brand off her heart? Well, that man on the moon says there's a red dirt on Mars. What's interesting is I wrote this song really after my first little relationship. And I'll be honest, I don't think I was that great in that first relationship. But when she always said, like, all of a sudden didn't want me, I was like, wait, what? I love you. But when I was in the room, and this is the beauty of songwriting, I'm in the room, and we're writing it all for different reasons. So there was someone in the room who had just lost his grandmother. And his grandmother basically raised him. And he really was a big part of this bridge right here. And if you miss someone, I hope you pull into that part of the song right here. She had all my soul. There's no going home now that she's gone. How to move on? 'Cause this small town in Georgia's all I've ever known. The dust and the blood and the blood and the bones. Where's the cowgirl to go to burn the brand off her heart? Well, that man on the moon says there's red dirt on the heart. Yeah, that man on the moon says there's red dirt on the heart. Thanks, guys.
That was incredible. Wow. Sitting this close to you, watching you perform, what a gift.
Well, thank you. You're not have to say that, but I appreciate
It's the
it.
truth. So why don't we start with that song? Every artist has one song that almost didn't release. Which song is it? This song that almost never saw the light of day?
Yeah, because I thought it was too slow. I thought it was too boring. I thought people didn't want to hear it. And it's interesting because isn't that so human to, like, the things that are most intimate about us we think are boring, and no one wants to hear that. No one wants to know about that pain or that thing. And thank God for music, because that's what gets us to connect to each other and say things that it's hard to say. And that song, the people that love that song and carried that and streamed that like crazy, they gave me the greatest gift that I've ever had in my music career, truly.
So in filmmaking, when I make a movie or when you've got 2 or 3 people that you sort of bounce and edit off of. You don't bring 100 friends into a room and So who convinced you to put that song on the album? Who's your mentor? Like, do you talk to someone, or how does that work?
There's one woman in particular. We butt heads, but she was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Her name is Stephanie Smith. Somebody know who Stephanie Smith is? Yeah. So Stephanie Smith, if it was okay to be out in the 90s, would be the biggest artist of all time. I believe that with every fiber of my being. She wrote songs for the Dixie Chicks, for Reba McEntire. She wrote It's Your Love, Just Does Something to Me, Song of the Year. She was BMI Songwriter of the Year in the 90s. And she was out, which means, like, she openly loved women. Well, one at a time. But she, I don't know. I guess it's her personal business. But no, she was just kind of this I found that people who have chosen a different path early in life tend to have a very calm presence. And they realize, like, none of it makes sense anyway. None of this makes sense anyway. So why do anything other than what you want to do, what you want to say? And I remember her being like, if this song's not on the record, I'm not producing it for you. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this will be on the record. And that whole album actually had quite a bit of heaviness to it. And I feel like I accessed peace, the peace I have now, from how cathartic that whole production of that album was with her. And I'm very grateful to her. I think she was a big part of my life and my story.
All right, let's go back to the beginning. You were born in El Salvador, and somehow you ended up chasing country music in Nashville. Give us the movie trailer version of how that happened.
How I ended up here from El Salvador?
Yeah, how you ended up here, how you ended up, sort of picking this path for your life. Yeah, how'd you even end up in Nashville?
Yeah, so I moved here when I was 11 years old, and I was a very spunky kid. And I think like I couldn't quite find a place to belong. And it wasn't necessarily, I wasn't great to be around. I'm going to be honest. Like I was that kid that was like just jumping off the walls. I mean, the number of times my mom got called in the principal's office probably set a record. So it wasn't like I was like a normal kid. I had so much energy. And what I love about music is kids like me, all of a sudden, the things that make all the reasons you're a bad kid become all the reasons you're a good kid. All that energy is actually used for a purpose that won't actually physically harm you. So I think when I begged and begged my mom for a guitar, she could tell I wasn't quite finding a place to fit when we moved here. And my parents didn't have a lot of money, but she saved up and she got me that guitar. And if I had never done music as a career, I still would say music has saved my life, truly, because kids need to know that there's a place where people will listen to what they have to say. And I believe that so deeply. And we just finished up CMA Fest. I'm a little emotional because I got to meet some of the kids that got to benefit from those grants and got to learn instruments and got to feel proud of themselves and perform. And it's really, a lot of people don't know that, but almost all that money goes back into music education.
Should we talk about CMA Fest? Should we just dive right into that?
Let's do it.
So tell us about CMA Fest. So you were on, who did you sort of open up for and what was that experience? Was this your first time doing it?
Oh my God. I still don't know who did this, but so when you're in this town for a long time, I think one of the coolest things, all your friends end up in high places, right? And I swear, for whatever reason, they won't tell me who it was, but somebody is messing with me because I played right after Melissa Etheridge, and I was like, they know that she's like my favorite. And what's really cool is my biggest break in country music actually happened in 2019. I had just moved here, and I think my manager at the time sent a random email saying like, hey, can Angie open? And she said yes. I had done nothing at the time, which says a lot about Melissa. But I opened for her. Not only that, she like came and found me before. And she was like, thanks for opening the show. And we're like talking. And then she's like, come to my dressing room afterwards. And I was like, oh my God. And I think there was a moment where me and my wife were like standing outside her door after the show. And we were like, do we knock? Like, do we like, can we do this? And we must have been loud because she like opens the door and she's like, come in. And I can't remember everything we said, but I know I asked her for advice. She puts her hands on my shoulders and she says something I still hear in my head to this day. Never treat the people in suits better than the people in the seats. Isn't that just the best advice you've ever heard? But she's an icon, and like it's another example of somebody who went their own way early and clearly has their own piece. And it's why I love watching her perform.
I want to say one thing about Melissa Etheridge because I've interviewed her 4 times, and my favorite thing about her is she's unoffendable. No. You can literally say, give her any inappropriate gift, and she'll just laugh. Am I right? Yeah. She's so great in that sense. All right, well, let's stay on CMA Fest. It would be weird to jump off of it. Has there ever been a time where everything has gone wrong on stage?
Yeah, we talked about this a little before. CMA Fest was nuts. So not only did I go after one of the greatest rock icons of all time, but you have like maybe a 10-minute changeover. And I had a bunch of wireless systems that were working, and I was going to use something called a loop pedal. And there was a miscommunication. They were so apologetic afterwards, but there was a miscommunication with the RF frequencies or whatever. So like I couldn't hear anything. And so we had a hardwire, which meant that it was just me acoustic and singing, which is fine. So there's a little bit of an awkward moment. I pivot, I'm acoustic, no big deal. Sea of people, just me and a guitar, it'll be fine. And then all of a sudden I have a guest come on that they knew was coming, and it takes them 3 microphones to get a working microphone to work. And I mean, it's fine. I made it fun. It was like third time's a charm, you know? And when they finally got the third one working, my guitar cut out because they gave her the same frequency as my guitar. So I just kind of hardwired the guitar. So there were some awkward moments there, but obviously I'm smiling the whole time. I've done a million shows. And I just pivot and go acoustic. And we lost maybe 8 minutes in the changeover of a 30-minute set. And so many people had traveled so far to see me. So I just kind of walk out to the very front, like the stage on top of the speaker. And I was like, yell out right now what song you came to see. They yell at all these songs that are like my original songs. And I made a mashup on the spot of those songs, which not the smoothest mashup on earth, but it worked. I made it work. I made it all work. And I got every song in. And then I finished. And in my mind, I thought two things. I thought, God, that was like a 5 out of 10 show. And I had really worked so hard and planned for like this 11 out of 10 show that I was like so excited about. So I was bummed at first. And then all of a sudden I had all these pictures. I don't think my friends have ever screamed so loud, ever. And every time there was a mistake, they were just like, you would have thought I just did the most extraordinary thing on stage. And I had like my little crew in the back corner, and I would turn around during like a moment where I'm waiting for them to get the mic or something, and they just start dancing. There's no music playing, and they just start dancing. And I was like, God, I felt so loved in that moment that all of the bummer of what could have been like immediately went out of my mind. And something beautiful happened this morning because I learned that it was named on People magazine as a show you shouldn't have missed. I know. But it's a good story of reminding me that, you know, as artists, we think we have to earn everything, and we have such a desire for perfection because we're visionaries. We see it before we do it, and we just want you to see what we see so bad. And it was a reminder that, like, no one earns anything in this life. And the best we can hope for is to make a beautiful community that is there when you need them to be there. Because then what else do you need? Like, that show will be one of the most calming things in my life, because I'll remember no matter what happens when I walk out on stage, my people are my people, you know?
That's beautiful. Is this front row the same people that were
yeah.
at CMA Fest?
Oh, yeah. My crew.
Same community? Could Angie 5 years ago have dealt with what happened at CMA the way that you're dealing with it now?
Yeah, actually. Angie, but I wouldn't have expected it to be another way. Angie 5 years, no, maybe 5 years ago, but like I started on cruise ships. Shit happens on cruise ships, man.
Yeah, tell us a cruise ship story. Either yeah, here, let's hear it. There's got to be a C6 story.
I went
in there.
from working on cars to I sent an email because I was like, you know, it'd be cool working on a cruise ship. And I sent an email, Googled somebody, and it turned out somebody like a year later saw this video of me in like a crumpled shirt in my bedroom singing Southern rock songs and was like, hire her, whatever. And so I didn't even think there'd be more than one ship. I take out my first credit card, buy my first like real guitar, and I didn't think there'd be more than one. So I tried to get on Royal Caribbean, apparently. I was on Carnival. That's how terrible I was. And finally I get on the right ship, and I think they're going to fire me if I like say no to any request. So every time someone asked for a request, I would learn it the next day, like every time. And I actually met my wife on the first, she's back there. First 3 weeks. We've been together 10 years now. Just got married. Yeah.
You guys met on a cruise ship?
We met on a cruise. She was just cruising, and then apparently like crumpled free t-shirts do it for her. So
Wait a minute. What was she doing? Like, isn't cruise ships for like older people? I mean, what was she doing on the cruise ship?
no, man, it's
It's a mixed bag?
it's for people that want to party. The ones that I was on we've got down. The thing is, you have to stay up past 10, Hooman.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Maybe it's not for me. All right. So let's just sort of talk about like El Salvador and Nashville. How does that like coexist in your sound?
Actually, I have a really good story about this. So I have done shows in El Salvador before. They usually sell really well, but like over time. So like over like 4 months of promotions, I'll usually have it mostly full room. This last time I went down, it sold out in like 2 weeks. And I'm doing better, but I also think that the word country is holding its weight so differently outside of, like, it's just way more culturally relevant than it's ever been. And it was a really cool moment because on the way down, I was listening to my random playlist, and there's a song called, it's called El Carbonero, which means the coal miner. And it has almost the same chord. Actually, I'll show you. I'll show you really quick. Yeah. Has the same chords as one of the most iconic country songs of all time. So I'll just do a little quick verse in the chorus. Soy carbonero que vengo de las cumbres, sí señor, con mi carboncito negro que vierte lumbre de amor. Okay, now listen to this. was born a coal miner's daughter, on a cabin on a hill in Butcher Hollow. We were poor, but we had love. That's the one thing Daddy made sure of. He shoveled coal to me, a coal miner's daughter. Si mi señor es buen carbón, cómprelo usted de Nacascón y de Chaperno y de Capingón. Todo señor es buen carbón, todo señor es buen carbón.
Incredible. By the way, she is so good. No wonder you guys are in the front row. People in the back are regretting it. I'm going to ask questions for about 10 or 15 more minutes, and I'll open up to you guys if you want to ask a question. So you have 5 albums, correct?
Yeah, well, the 5th one's coming out in 2 weeks. Excited.
In total, roughly, if you were to guesstimate, how many songs have you written?
Like 1,000, something like that.
Wow, 1,000 songs. And do you sort of have it cataloged? Do you know what's in there? Are there songs where you're like, oh my God, I completely forgot about this?
You try to keep up with it, but the problem is we have like a predisposed, we tend to judge things, a human thing, to judge things as they come, right? And sometimes, like there's a really famous story. You know the song, Blake Shelton's Renee? Those guys had no idea. They were like, what a waste of a day. And then they get a call and they're like, I didn't even remember writing that song, you know? So I catalog a lot of stuff and kind of try to keep an organization. But for example, I have a song called Laredo. I'd only really written a verse, chorus, some of the next verse. And I remember just not thinking we wrote anything good that day. And it was on my voice notes, and I just happened to scroll through my voice notes looking for something else. And I pressed play on it in the car, and I was like, no, this is a good song. And I texted them, and I was like, we got to finish this one. And we did. But that one was almost lost to the ether. Yeah.
You know, I want to corroborate something you said, which is the strength of country music today. I come from San Francisco radio, and in the Bay Area, country radio stations would literally last 6 months in the Bay Area. And now one of the top 5 radio stations in San Francisco is a country station, which has just never happened before, not in the last 30 years. What's the struggle in Nashville that nobody warns you about?
Struggle in Nashville.
What's a struggle? And I can tell you what you told me during our pre-call if you want me to jog your memory.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You said work hard, smarter, not harder, have fun in building things.
Traffic's bad. Leave early.
Traffic.
Leave early.
That's the struggle in Nashville, the traffic?
You got to remember, we're not from California. This is new to us. What is this? I will say what's really funny about traffic is when me and my wife were kind of starting to, not quite date yet, but get to know each other. I flew to LA for The Voice. I had going through the next round of auditions for The Voice. And I called her in San Diego and I was like, hey, you want to meet in LA and hang out? In the South, driving 2 hours is not a big deal. Right. Now I know. LA to San Diego, she loved me. She loved me. But yeah, we're not used to traffic here for sure.
What's the most Nashville thing that's happened to you?
Melissa Etheridge. What even is that?
During our pre-call, you said something different. You said opening up for Brooks and Dunn.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sick. So
let's hear that story.
That's a pretty wild story. So any of you guys Zac Brown Band fans? I love Zac Brown Band. So I came up in Georgia, and so Zac Brown Band were they were big locally way before they were on the I remember pulling off the side of the road when I heard Chicken Fried the first time on the radio. They've made it. Will Hop is one of the co-founders of Zac Brown. He even produced the first couple records. He still plays in the band. And he also ran a ton of open mic nights all around Atlanta. So he was this legendary guy that everyone knew. And I knew of him for so long. I got onto a show in Eddie's Attic before. And I ended up meeting him years ago. And he told me he lived in Marietta. And one day I was like, he always talk about writing, and I was like, hey, I have the day off. I'm in Marietta. If you're here, let's get a write. And he texted me his address 15 minutes away. And I'm like, what are the chances? And I roped him into producing this last record. So that felt really special. Somebody that I like grew up around and in and paved so many paths for the people where I live. Now I get to work with them one-on-one in a studio with all my favorite musicians. That was pretty insane. I would say that's a pretty good Nashville story. But if that ended there, that'd be great. But then he calls me and he goes, can you do this benefit for me for Hop on a Cure, which is he has ALS and we're raising money to find a cure. So I was like, sure. He doesn't mention that it's me, Kix Brooks of Brooks and Dunn, and Christian Bush from Sugarland. And I'm like, could have said that. But so I'm on stage between these two crazy artists. And I said, I would love to auction off a silent auction of a private show, thinking they'd put it in the silent auction. Instead, they decided to auction me off while I'm on stage. And I'm like, this is stressful. But I'm trying to like give it a good pitch. So I'm like, guys, I'm the only one on stage without a Grammy. I have the best value up here. Like, let's raise some money. And Kix Brooks stops everything and he looks at me. He turns his whole body. He looks at me and he says, just because you don't have a Grammy doesn't mean you haven't earned one. Imagine being one of the most award-winning artists of all time and saying that to someone who hasn't won one. Beautiful. That is the magic of Nashville. It's like we all know we're in a simulation and nothing like you don't earn thousands of people applauding for you. You just get to wake up and make music, and that's a blessing. And he gets that, I think, more than anybody.
What are the details of this Brooks and Dunn tour? When does it start?
In October.
Okay.
I'm very excited.
And does it start here?
No, starts in Oklahoma City.
And are you making it out to the West Coast?
No, I'm not on the West Coast side. I wish.
Have you performed in the Bay Area or LA or?
Not in San Francisco. I did Silicon Valley Pride once, but most of my ties are in San Diego. So I needed to get further up the coast.
So this new album's coming out. What's your hope for it? Is there? Yeah.
Well, Jackie, my friend Jackie Stevens, who I've roped into basically being my partner, we're thinking about taking Contigo, which is my last single, to radio.
That's my favorite song of yours, by the way.
Well, if it hits top 40, it would be the first independent bilingual record to ever do it, which would basically make us look like we could do anything. Because it's like, not only is it hard to get on radio on a label. Thank you. Yeah, I love it.
Is Jackie going to make that happen?
You know, if anybody can, it's Jackie. If anybody can, it's Jackie.
Okay, so you're driving cross country. You get 3 passengers with you, a musician, a historical figure, even a fictional character. Who would you have in the car with you?
Yeah. Melissa, I only get one artist.
No, you can. You know what? You can do it however you want.
Well, definitely Melissa for artist. But what are the other two?
A historical figure and a fictional character.
Okay, I feel like
You can do 3 artists if you want.
I would want Melissa Etheridge. I would want. This sounds weird, but I love Nelson Mandela. I feel like has the most interesting. The fact that he was in jail for that long and doesn't hate the world. I feel like I could help me overcome my little tiny mountains. And then, okay, third one, like someone that's not real. Probably, I don't know, like Harry Potter. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be quite the car ride.
So,
Harry'd get us there fast.
right?
Yeah, I'd be like, whip up some snacks, Harry. Come on.
So with Melissa, do you guys have each other's contact? Are you in touch? Do you text now?
I like to think we're friends. In my mind, we're friends.
Okay. So now with that, friendship, do you feel like you need to write a song that you guys could do as a duet?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm working on manifesting. So if you guys could all do that with me, that'd be great.
And how's that songwriting process coming? Are the words, is the melody, how's that happening in your mind, in your heart?
I think something like that, I just focus on feeling how good it would be to happen, and then it just happens. That's kind of, there's been a few times in my life where I just think about something and I'm like, well, that's going to happen. And working on cruise ships, I was literally had dirt under my fingernails. I was working at a freaking mechanic shop and I was like, oh, duh, I'll do that. And I felt like it already happened. I was like, I'm going to go work on cruise ships. And then it happened. And then I remember thinking like, I'm going to be on The Voice. I auditioned like 6 times. Every time I failed, I swear to God, was like, well, just not this year. Like, I just knew it was going to happen. And I got on. And then I feel like I'm going to one day sing with Melissa Etheridge. It's going to happen one day. I feel it.
In the duet, you feeling it?
Yeah. Well, we got to sing together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so success is dangerous. It changes people often. We've all seen it. We've all seen our friend who wasn't successful. And so what's one thing you're fighting to never lose about yourself?
It's funny you say success is dangerous. I don't think success is dangerous. I think not knowing that you don't feel worthy of it is really dangerous. Because we like to use the word ego a lot. And I don't think ego is the thing we thought it was. Like, I think ego is fear. Like, people that have this intense ego about them, they actually need validation more than anyone, right? So it's like, to me, my biggest fear is feeling like I deserve this or I earn this so much so that I make up these rules in my head that don't exist. Because there's people that worked 10 times harder than me that haven't gotten the opportunities that I have. There's people that worked half as harder than me that are 10 times more ahead than I am. It's so easy in our minds to think of things as like a linear meritocracy. And across every category, whether it's racial or in the LGBTQ community or whatever, none of that works. And I learned that really early on. So if you throw away the idea of meritocracy and you just believe deeply that you can have anything you want and start there without the intensity of the world telling you different, I think that's where I can find gratitude. And if I can find gratitude, I can find happiness. So like, no matter what happens in life, if I'm about to go play, I don't know, the ball drop at New York City and which is another one of the things I want to do one day. I'm about to walk on that stage. I just hope I remember that like, no one can earn that. You just get to do it. Like, no one earns getting to breathe and live and enjoy this life. We just get to do it. And if I can find that space, I know I'm going to be okay, you know?
That's great. So let's talk about technology. I come from the Silicon Valley. Everyone has to embrace technology. I don't know if that's the case out here in Nashville, but with AI and the way music is created and social media algorithms, like, does this empower you? Does it consume you? Like, how do you deal with it?
Like AI and technology and everything?
Yeah, and social media, and because we're all on social media. We all have our haters.
Yeah.
Like, how do you deal with all of that?
So I try to see things from, what if I was 18 and this happened? And really AI does a lot of things. Like, for example, Blake Shelton has a team of 40 people writing songs, pushing the songs, learning how to market them. Now I basically have access to that team with AI. So if I'm looking at it through the lens of an 18-year-old, yes, I love producers and I love every person I know that are incredible musicians. But I think we're coming to a place where if you're not actively creating something new, AI has there's a fear that it kind of takes your spot. And that is really scary when you look at it from the surface. But I try to think of it as a challenge of, am I making a song right now because I want it to be big? Am I following a trend? How do I make this interesting to me? And like, for example, something I've been learning is like Billie Eilish is a great example. AI couldn't have created Billie Eilish because nobody was doing this 2-chord weird freaking thing and whispering into a microphone, right? AI is only good as its inputs. So creating something new, it can't do that because it can't predict it only has inputs. But that being said, something that really scares me about AI is inputs equal outputs. So like, for example, if you were to ask AI, paint me a picture of a top country artist, it very likely would paint you a picture of a white male, right? Because like that, and it makes sense. Logically, it makes sense. When even search engines started coming out, there was a lot of fear in what the ethics of that looked like. Because if you're in control of what people see when they ask for something or ask, is this how that is, or is how it isn't, then you're essentially in control of the answers. And your answers are only good as the human inputs. So I think it's really important for people to remember that AI isn't a machine. It's run by human knowledge. And so to speak, like, we control those algorithms. So I tell people all the time, we can control how culturally relevant country is by simply going to our Instagram and saying Latin country artist. Type that in once and you will see so many people. Like Black Opry is another excellent channel on Instagram that has so many great artists. And you do that once and all of a sudden the machine is looking at that. And maybe this one artist, everyone who likes this artist also likes George Strait, and that machine gets built. So I try to tell people, like, don't just rely on AI for answers, help it create them. And I think that people need to do that more often because we can create the world we want to see more than we ever have been able to. So,
What do you do for stress relief? What do you do for stress relief?
I hug my wife. Well, she's working. She actually bought a little trampoline for her office so that when I come in, I can just jump on the trampoline next to her.
Do you work out?
Yeah, I work out every day for sure.
And what do you? Are you like a yoga person? Pilates?
I wish I was more. I want to do more yoga stuff, but I really kind of just like, I like to do. I usually will listen to like an audiobook. That way I have like my reward when I go to the gym. I put in the audiobook, and yeah. So I do like a 30-minute Stairmaster usually workout or something, and I'm not really paying attention. And then I'll do some weights, and I'll usually turn off music completely for those and just kind of try to. So I think it's important at some point in your day to not have thoughts. Yeah.
So I do Stairmaster too, and I want to challenge you to do something. Every once in a while in big cities like this, there's skyscraper stair climbing competitions. Would you ever do something like that where you have to go 80 flights?
No, I'll enter any competition. My wife will attest. Doesn't matter if I'm capable of it or not. I'll enter it.
Yeah. Can you tell some of the competitions you've entered?
I didn't prepare at all, and I did a triathlon.
Oh.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I thought I did great. But that's the thing about me is like I'll rewrite the story very quickly in my head, and in my mind it was great. It was great.
Were you able to finish?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish.
Have you ever heard of Tough Mudder or the Spartan Race?
I haven't, but I want to.
So I've done a Tough Mudder, and the amount of people that fail within the first mile is extraordinary. Half the group. So the fact that you didn't prepare for a triathlon, you finished it, that's monumental.
Thank you. I got my bike off Goodwill like the week before.
Anything else you've competed in that you didn't prepare for?
I did win a donut eating contest in high school.
Oh,
my
let's hear
mom
about
was
this.
so disappointed in me.
Yeah, donut eat. How many donuts? Do you remember how many donuts you ate?
No, I just remember I won.
Amazing. Tell me a couple movies that you really love.
Movies I really love. I actually love Dancing with Wolves. This is a weird one. But I love Charlie St. Cloud, and I don't really understand why. Zac Efron's in it. And it's this movie about, it's just weird. But I don't know why I come back to it. I love Hidden Figures. Sometimes when I feel like my life is hard, I watch that movie and I was like, fuck, no, it's not at all. But that movie is just so well written and so good. Yeah, I love that movie.
All right, we're going to open it up. Does anyone have a question? Oh, hold on. We have a microphone for you.
Angie, of all the songs that you have released, what's your favorite?
Oh, that's a tough one. It's like picking your favorite kid, right?
It's usually the one that's out right now, which is so biased of me. But I actually really like Contigo that's out because it's just like when I played it in El Salvador, where it feels like everywhere I go, people can plug into it. And that makes me really look forward to playing it whenever I'm playing it live. And it has like just a really good beachy chord progression that I don't have to, vocally, I don't have to stretch too hard for it. It's like, I just enjoy singing it. Yeah, Contigo probably is my favorite one right now.
Hi. I saw you with Melissa Etheridge, and
Oh my
I
gosh, you
loved
saw
it.
that.
I saw that. It was at the Ryman, so that was my introduction, and I brought my girlfriends
Yay! Thank you, thank you.
to see you because I was so excited whenever I saw this. I love Melissa Etheridge. I think in my little small town, I was the first one to love her and play her everywhere. I drove
love
everybody
it.
crazy. But my favorite song, Leave California.
Oh my gosh.
That's what was your inspiration? I'm kind of looking at your beautiful wife here with the blonde hair. But what was your inspiration for that? Because Percy Priest, when you say
Mm-hmm.
it
We'll get a place by Percy Priest. Yeah. So funny about that line. You know who Jason Isbell is? Have you heard of Jason Isbell? So he has that song, Cover Me Up. Percy Priest, break open right in the river runs through. That song. I remember looking up where Percy Priest was. And it was Nashville. And when I heard that song, was living in Georgia, and I was like barely making ends meet, barely able to make my little rent every month, which I think was like $400. And I felt really lost. And I think I forget sometimes that youth, it's freaking hard to be young. Like that year, those years, like early teens and early 20s, like it's freaking hard. And I remember hearing that song and being like, someday I'm going to live near Percy Priest. And so when I was trying to convince Marissa to move, when I was in Nashville, I loved going to Percy Priest. It was one of my favorite places to go. I'd watch the sunset. It was just beautiful. And she loved the water a lot. And I tried to explain to her, I didn't tell her about the mosquitoes. I left that out. Completely left those out. But and the humidity, I left that out too. But I was like, in my mind, I was like, but that's beautiful, but this is also could be ours and could be really beautiful. And so I love that you remember that line because it ties in so many parts of my life to being like, that line was so personal to me. And then wanting her so bad to see the vision too. But I love that song so much. Getting someone to move from one of the most beautiful places in the country is not an easy task. So I had to stack my odds as hard as I could. But I didn't know if she was going to say yes. And I think you can hear that vulnerability in the song. And I think I got her kind of drunk one day and she said yes. And I didn't let her forget it. So here we are.
So I moved here from California 20 years ago. But when I heard that song, it kind of solidified a good emotion in me. So I love that song. But that's not my question. My question is, what is your best memory aside from marrying your wife?
Melissa, I'm just kidding. I mean, that was a pretty good one. Favorite memory? Oh, gosh. She's in all of it. The wedding was pretty special because it was like everybody I love in one place. I think my favorite memory was after I played the Opry. That's the first one that comes to mind. This one is a big question, so it probably will change. But after I played the Opry the first time, I told everybody to go meet me at the Palace, at the Nashville Palace. And it was such a good crew. And I think I lost my voice that night. We were line dancing. We did not know how to line dance, so it didn't matter. And it was just like pure joy. It was this moment where I still think the Opry is like the highest thing you could do in country music. And the fact that I played it and got to celebrate with people, I think all the time I'm so grateful that I have friends and family that can actually be that happy for me. Because that's not easy. Like, because my friends are other artists and my friends are like having to get out of town. And then the whole day was about me. And to see that many people just genuinely happy to see someone's dream come true gives me so much hope for humanity. You know, like, it's true. Like, there's so many, turn on the news, man. Turn it off. Like, it's like, I'm telling you, there's so much good in this world if you look for it. I really believe that. And that night kind of reminds me of that. The Ryman was pretty cool. But I played both. I played the Ryman when I opened for Melissa, but I was trying to give you another another option other than Melissa, but that really was my favorite. But yeah, the Opry was pretty good too.
I don't have a question. I just want to say I'm a Nashville elementary school teacher and full of Hispanic students. And I'm so excited to found your music because now I love playing music in my classroom. And I am just going to play you over and over. And I don't have to play Bad Bunny anymore.
I love it.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Another Californian.
So, sort of in the same vein, I have Latin roots and just wondering where your inspiration comes from, like the role models, artists, musicians from Latin America that inspire you.
Mine don't like. I have three. I guess I love Julieta Venegas because I think her songwriting's fantastic. Luis Fonsi, when he did his early records, like Yo no me doy por vencido. I mean, just like candy, you know. I would say Jesse Joy. Así que corre, 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 corazón. I still think that would be like they could play country music. Like I feel like their ballads are so great and good, and we're starting to see that where a lot of people considered their music couldn't be country because it was in that language. With Karin Leon, that's dramatically changing. Which, by the way, Karin is playing tomorrow here at Bridgestone, and it's sold out. So pretty cool. I'll be there.
What about Bad Bunny? You like Bad Bunny?
No, I like Bad Bunny. I don't think I like him as much as like I have a friend Andrea who's like crazy. It's kind of like Taylor Swift. I'm a fan of Taylor Swift, and then there's like fan of Taylor
You're
Swift.
right
You know
about
what I'm saying?
that. Oh my
like,
God.
I don't want to put myself in a category I haven't earned, you know? But yeah, I like Bad Bunny's music. I'm just like, I tend to like, I have a hard time understanding what he's saying.
Oh.
That's actually one
Wait.
of my reasons why I'm not like more of a fan is because like I can't. He speaks Spanish.
Well, I was gonna say, don't
he
you
just
speak Spo-
drops every other consonant or vowel. Like he just like
Oh.
it's a very
It's slurry.
yes, and I can only understand like I have to actually look up the lyrics, and even then I'm like, no, this doesn't totally work great. So I really love So here's what's interesting: that reggaeton movement is so largely based off of rhythm, and the words are actually the writing of the words are to go with the movement and the rhythm of the song. So that's why there's not really deep lyrics in that. Usually it's like the art is actually in the movement of, and the same with rap music. Like half the time the writing is part of the rhythm, if that makes sense. I really love to be able to understand every word and wrap around it. And then like I like Eric Church, you know, like I love songs that kind of move as you change, or Landslide by I used to think it was by the Dixie Chicks. How embarrassing is that? I argued with somebody on a cruise ship once. I was like, no, it says Dixie Chicks. They educated me, don't worry.
So my boss is in the audience, and you recently stayed in another one of our properties. What was the name of that property?
Molly Ohana.
Molly Ohana in Anguilla in the Caribbean. How was it?
It was crazy. I can't believe that I'd never even heard of Anguilla, actually. And I had lived in Caribbean for a long time because I lived on cruise ships. And it's this tiny island. And they also had this like recording academy level studio there. And I got to do like a songwriting session, like where I taught people how to write songs. I did it for all ages. And this one guy walked up to me and he's like, he plays a lot of country music on the island. He told me he found an old Opry LP. And ever since he had listened to every Saturday on the Opry on the radio. And I was like, that's crazy. So I always like to say like country music isn't for everyone, but we are everywhere.
Let's talk about songwriting, and then we'll sort of close it out with a couple songs. Do people come to you and say, "I've written a song for you," and can?
And I tell them send it. I'm in need for number one songs.
Well, how does that work? If somebody, because when you go to an event like this with famous producers and stuff, everyone is pitching their script. Everyone. And so for a musician, do you welcome people giving you songs? Do you say no, thank you?
No, I welcome it. Like, so my email is like on my Instagram, I think, like on my bio, whatever. Just send me an email, or just there's a contact form on my website. Like to me, like the joy of being independent is that I'm not at a place where, one, if you want to take a picture, the answer is yes, that's good for me. I appreciate you asking. Like if you want to send me a song, I love it. Like, and I just love hearing music. I love hearing people's stories. And yeah, if you want to send me a song, I want to hear it.
So have you ever recorded somebody else's song that has that happened yet?
Yeah. My song, Real Talk, that was my first song that got on Sirius XM The Highway. That was actually written by Thomas Rhett, Nicole Gallion, and Jesse Frazier, three of the biggest writers.
Well, is it Thomas Rhett from the old 97s?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
Thomas Rhett's a country music singer.
All right, okay. Amazing. All right, well, why don't you, would you mind giving us one or two more songs?
Let's do it. Okay, you guys talked up Leave California, so I've got to play it. I haven't played this one in a minute, but I love this song. Marissa's going to be like, I remember those sunsets on the West Coast. Leave California, run away with me to Tennessee. I know that you love the water. We could find us a place on Percy Breeze. Hey, I'm just waiting on you. Leave California. I know it's hard to give it all to a girl like me, playing guitar just to make ends meet. I ain't got much, but I got this dream. I got a tank full of gasoline and a shotgun seat. Leave California, run away with me to Tennessee. Know that you love the water. We found us a place on Percy Breeze. Hey, I'm just waiting on you. Leave California. Of every song I write, someday we'll hear it on the radio dial. Under the lights upon this stage, you're still the only thing I crave. So baby, I'll wait for you to leave California. Oh yeah. Well, I'm addicted to your power. Nothing makes sense without you. I can get so emotional when I think about your body lying inside me. It's like I always want you to be. The only thing you have to do is leave. Leave California. Run away with me. I know that you love. On Percy Breeze. Hey, I'm just waiting on you. Oh, leave California. Leave California. And she did. She's never going back. I'll tell you one thing, once you leave California, it's real hard to get back. That's right. That's right. It took her a while to understand like what there is. Like I remember the first time we went on a hike and I'm like, okay, we'll go on a hike, babe, no problem. She's like, we do the hike. And she was like, I'm so confused. I'm like, what are you confused? Why? What? Like, she was like so confused the whole hike. And I was like, what is it? She was like, isn't there like a view somewhere? And I'm like, no, it's just walking the trees. It's you walking the tree. Because in California, there's always like a beautiful view you hit at one point. And I was like, no, just, trees, mosquitoes, birds. Enjoy it. That's funny. You what? And then we had a tornado. That's right. Good times, good time. Let's see, let's do yeah. he told me this was his favorite one that I do. I don't know if this loop station is going to work on these little speakers, but let's try it. And then if it doesn't work, I'll just stop using it. The Broncos loaded up, it's all blue sky. We can be wheels up on the way, touchdown Wi-Fi. Turn that 2-week paycheck, pick a spot on the map. Who needs a night after it so we could have a beachside chat? You crashing me like the waves on a Cancun boat. Hands are right the wheel, baby, take control. Solo quiero estar contigo, I just wanna be with you. Pick out a place and we'll go Tennessee to Timbuktu. Solo quiero estar contigo, start a little something new. We can take it fast and real slow, stop and take a minute. I just wanna be with you. Oh, 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 oh. Look at you bare feet in the salted, sipping on the rocks. Suntan bikini on my head, now you're taking it off. Now we're skinny dipping, wishing on a star. Baby, show me more of who you are. Quiero estar contigo, I just wanna be with you. Pick out a place and we'll go Tennessee to Timbuktu. Solo quiero estar contigo, start a little something new. We can take it fast and real slow, stop and take it easy. I just wanna be with you. Oh, 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 ooh, ooh. Let's do a little of this. Yeah. 2 bare feet on the dashboard, young love and an old board. She says and a tattoo on the coupe bottom, rolling on the floorboard. Our favorite song on the radio. I just wanna know it's a smile, it's a kiss, it's a crime, it's a summertime. Ooh, sweet summertime. Solo quiero estar contigo. Well, it don't need to make sense when it feels like this, no. Bésame mucho, give me one more kiss. Solo quiero estar contigo, I just wanna be with you. Pick out a place and we'll go Tennessee to Timbuktu. Solo quiero estar contigo, start a little something new. We can take it fast and real slow, stop and take it. I just wanna be with you.
Thank you. So grateful to have you. Thank you for doing this for us. And you going to hang out? Yeah, definitely. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming out. We loved having you all here. This is our second one. Hopefully, we'll see you all next month for our third.